Hey guys, Xiaomin. Today I'm going to talk about my free-to-play gameplay plan for Etheria Restart Global, and I'll be testing this gameplay plan in the upcoming closed beta. So for re-rolling, I'll be doing it in the permanent summon because every single new banner, they'll be instantly put into the permanent summon pool, which is really good in today's gacha standard. So you don't have to wait or feel missing out when the banner is gone. So the new unit like Freya is going to be in the permanent banner immediately. So the plan is to get one of the top elemental RGB unit, which is the red, blue, green. If I happen to summon one of the LD5, the light dark animals, that's going to be amazing. Unless I summon Sania. So Sania right now is in a very tough spot. I think she's going to be a decent PvE unit because she can settle the dot on the enemy team immediately, but on her own, she's not that super amazing. So she's very dependent on your team to put dot onto the enemy. And she's gonna be great if you have Doki Doki to reset your team cooldown to put dot and then settle the dot once again to blow up the boss or the PvE stage pretty much immediately. However, because she's dependent on other unit, I don't like that. On the other hand, every other light dark animals are really good. This is AoE ignore defense damage, and if you know me, you know that word just sounds really good. And he's a light unit and ignore passive as well. Extremely strong skill 3 for PvE and also PvP. This is massive cooldown reduction in every single skill, and this guy is one of the biggest counterplay in the bruiser meta because he can strip and then block buff, which is the defense buff, immunity, shield, healing over time, all that bullshit. He can counter that with his skill, which is really good. And the last one is going to be Lily, another crazy cooldown support unit with instant turn boost and also speed buff and crit damage buff. Very solid support. So every LD animal is going to be amazing except for Shadow Sania. But because the chance for dropping LD is going to be very low, re-rolling for LD is going to take 20 billion years, and I'm not interested in doing that. On the other hand, I'll be trying to get one of the top RGB unit. So Tiamat's going to be the top tier for sure because the first 2 dungeons that you're going to do are going to be fire and water. And Tiamat is water, and Tiamat is absolutely incredible, easy to build, great damage, and relevant in PvP. If I cannot get Tiamat, but I happen to pull unit that I like, for example, Freya early on, crazy support unit, or Veronica. Oh my god, the scrolling thing in this game. Veronica is absolutely incredible as well. And waifu material. She's very good, guys. Maybe you happen to come across a tier list that doesn't put her very highly in the tier list. In my opinion, she's fucking amazing. And she looked really good at the same time. Like, that's the best of both worlds. You can have waifu and meta in the same unit. If I pull Freya or Veronica, I'm going to put Tiamat onto my targeted summon, and I'm going to do that. So we're going to start off strong with Leon, the free SSR. If you play for 7 days, you get Linglo, okay? One of the best healer in the game. So don't put Linglo anywhere in this targeted banner. So after playing for a couple days, I'll get my hands on at least potentially 2 SSR, one being Tiamat, the other being either Freya, Veronica, whatever I get from my re-rolling. And if possible, we're going to get our hands on a couple good SSRs. Well, once again, it's going to be Sania, solid healer, or Obo or Kraken for crazy control and dot. But if I don't get my hands on them, I'll try later on when we get more summon when we play the game. But that is the summoning part. Now let's get to the real gameplay. First, going to be the main quest. You are going to try and clear as far as you can. This will not be the focus of this game. This is where the game's trying to sell you a story. If you buy that, it's gonna be great. Personally, I'm not a story kind of guy, so I'll be trying to go through the story as quickly as possible. Maybe when we have nothing else to do, I'm gonna go back and read the story, okay? I'm sorry, Jack, the game producer, I'm very sorry. I will not be reading the story, but you can. However, when we go to the challenge, you gotta spend your stamina wisely. So the first 2 things that you are going to farm are going to be Animus EXP and progress material. So you farm what you need and you get out of here as quickly as possible because you don't want to spend too much stamina in here. You want to start spending stamina in the module drop. So this is where you farm your gear, your RNG substat bullshit. Yes, to get the quad speed. So the first boss is going to be Terramation. However, the most important one is going to be Doki Doki. So ignore the left guy because Doki Doki is going to grant you Swift Rush, which is going to be the speed set in this game. And unfortunately, speed is going to be rather important for the majority of the content. So getting your hands on Swift is going to be great. And it doesn't mean that when you get your hands on Swift Rush, you cannot get all the stat, because in this game, stat is going to be more important than set early on. If you get a very good Swift Rush gear with high crit rate, crit damage, and attack, it is going to be a damage dealer piece. So early on, stat over set, if possible. Stat over set in general, because you want to get the most stat possible in the early game. And when you can get your hands on optimal set with the perfect stat, that's going to be the end game. So we're going to be trying to get our hands on the speed set first, and also in the meantime, trying to assemble some sort of high attack build to farm the dungeon a little bit faster. And the second boss going to be Aurora. So this is going to be, in my opinion, the end game PvP gear boss, because at the highest difficulty, you are going to get your hands on two very important sets. The first one being free turn meter when you get attacked. So that is one way to deal with getting outsped in this game, because in other game, let's say you get outsped and you're dead, pretty much they cleave you. However, you can gain turn meter when they attack you. So that's one way to cut in between and start controlling them instead, so you don't get absolutely speed cleave. And the other one being the Bulwark. So this one is going to provide you immunity in the first turn. So in RTA or other content, everyone will try to build some sort of cleave comp to kill you immediately with like AoE defense break into AoE damage. However, if you have immunity in the first turn and they don't bring an AoE buff dispeller, buff stripper, then they will not be able to do much to you. And in my opinion, playing turn-based PvP game for many years, the lack of immunity really make or break the casual PvP player and the tryhard one, which means the tryhard player is going to have a whole lot of immunity trap in there so that you cannot control their team easy turn one. So I think I'll be focusing on these two dungeons a whole lot. And in the meantime as well, I think we're gonna have to split the stamina that we're going to have 50-50 into the shell, the pet system as well, because you want to get your hands on the stronger pet later on. The early on pet, not too crazy, give you a bit of value here and there, but the strongest pet is near the very end. I think this is one of the most impactful pet in all the PvP tournament, which is to allow the owner to use skill 3 immediately after using skill 3. That is crazy, because in this game, in turn-based game in general, the balancing factor for a strong, explosive skill is to have a long cooldown. Let's say Messiah skill 3 to ignore defense, very good, long cooldown. However, he can do it once again if you use this shell on him, which is like stupid, okay? It's a bit too strong, not gonna lie. I have talked to the dev about this shell in particular. I think not having cooldown in the first turn for certain unit is a little bit ridiculous. And another shell that is also really good is going to be this one right here. So before the owner take action, you are going to be able to cleanse some debuff if the owner has debuff. Imagine you start out your first turn with crazy stun and slow debuff on the enemy team, you lock them down, you think you're done. They take their turn, they have this fucking shell on, and suddenly all your effort, all your skill 3 are gone, and now they're the one in control because they have the shell on. So the end game shell is going to be absolutely crazy. So the gear farming and the shell farming gotta be split like potentially 70-30 or 50-50, and getting quad speed gear is not enough. You get a good shell as well. And of course, this game is not going to be played alone. You need to find yourself a union. And I think that is one of the most important things to play this kind of game, is to have a union, a guild, some people to talk to about the game so you can learn about new ideas and progress together. So I'm in like a try-hard union right now for my main account. In the future, maybe I will make another free-to-play account and have a separate union for the casual player. If you guys want to join my union, then let me know in the comment section down below. We're gonna call it like, I don't know, some weird ass name, and we're gonna be there having fun together. You don't have to go and super try hard sweat whale mode, because I will do that on my main account in the tryhard union that I'm already in. And in the future, there's going to be the union PvP that I feel like is going to be very, very fun and important for you guys as well, because that's going to give you more resources. But for now, it is going to be union boss only. But joining a union is very important, because that is what keep people playing the game together, and that's what give you motivation to farm for the endless quad speed chase. What about the arena? So this is gonna be where a lot of people will feel like, oh shit, arena, I've been playing Honkai Star Rail for a long time and I'm not used to this shit. Don't worry, okay? Don't worry about this too much. It will not stress you out. It will not go crazy. Okay, I'm lying. Fucking RTA is gonna make you shit the bed. However, first is going to be the Etheria. The normal arena, that's how I like to call it, the AI arena, where you are going to fight enemy defenses. So let's say you set up some random unit for your defense, you are going to challenge other people defense that is controlled by AI. So this is not going to be too stressful, because what you can do is to farm the currency in the arena, you want to set a one-man defense, the weakest defense possible. And that's gonna make you the perfect target for everyone to start hitting you, okay? So your rank will always be not high, maybe very low, but you get to challenge other weaker player as well. And the goal for this arena is to clear out the shop, okay? I don't recommend you go too try hard, spend $100 and just trying to get high in the arena. That's going to be very costly, because whales are going to beat you anyway. But what you want to do is you want to clear out the Etheria shop, okay? The shop will give you skill up for SSR, very important, skill up for SR, and summon currency and other progression material. So you want to do arena in a way that you can clear out the shop every single week, and then you try hard, okay? Because I think there's going to be a rank system, and there's going to be like a weekly reward, and that's going to be incredible. So ranking reward is going to be a little bit of crystal. I don't think that's going to be super crazy. Yeah, definitely. The highest rank give you 400 crystal. That's not a whole lot. So don't worry too much about the crystal. It's not going to be like crazy, but worry about clearing the shop, because I know a lot of you guys will hate doing PvP. So set up a one-man defense and then trying to challenge other weaker players. And I hope that there's going to be a culture where early on we all have one-man defense, okay? And then maybe at the end of the week or end of the season, when people really try to get new rank, then we go try hard. But in the meantime, let's farm the currency together. I think that's going to be very important. However, the Summit Arena is going to be very stressful. Unfortunately, this is going to be real time. You have to fight a real opponent, doing pick ban and all that good stuff. So very stressful. However, they do make the reward for the Summit Arena very enticing, because I see right here, you can redeem 5 Apex Prototype, which is the currency to summon LD unit, the best unit in the game, and you can get 5. So we gotta be doing some Summit Arena, but at the end of the day, it's a little bit of summoning currency and a little bit of resources. It's not gonna be like game breaking, okay? So if you really hate this, then you can probably ignore that. You're gonna summon a bit less, but if you really want to get the newest LD banner unit and you want to hit pity, this is gonna go a long way. So I know we all hate RTA, or we will be hating RTA. Like, I've been playing RTA for how many years now, and someday I feel like I want to throw up playing RTA, but we all gotta do it because the rewards is just so fucking good. So rank reward looks like is, oh, holy shit, they really put some emphasis in RTA, because the reward for RTA looks way better compared to the normal arena. So I think RTA is going to be a very important part of the game, unfortunately. But hopefully, okay, hopefully, in the challenge, I can see we have trial challenge, which is going to be the tower mode, some sort of roguelike mode as well. So these gonna give you resources when you play the game and limited time event. So these will come once in a while, and hopefully, okay, hopefully they will make these event worth your time. They're gonna give you summoning currency, and maybe if you ignore RTA in general, you can still hit PD on a light dark banner in a couple months time, hopefully. But we don't know yet because the game hasn't launched yet, so we cannot guarantee what a limited event or the trial challenge gonna look like. And RTA seems like it's gonna give you a lot of light dark summoning currency. But that's the plan for me for now. Let me know what is your plan in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.